What's your problem? Come on, game face, Bobby. Professional.
I can't when you're talking about you crapping yourself like a little kid. Like, we're trying to start the show. Let's go.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, go ahead.
Hey everyone, it's me, Sean Capri. It's If We Ran Nintendo, and we are live thanks to you on patreon.com/makeusbetter. And I want to take this moment, bring it down a little bit, give a really nice, cool, chill shout out to our executive producers, Nick from Next Level Games, Joel Brooks, Jesse Armstrong, James Johnson, Dr. Doom, Sheldon Benedict, and Glauco Schaffer. Bring it back up because we're going live, Bobby.
What about the new people?
And our new patrons too. I got excited. Patrick McNamara, Nintendo Talk, and Joey Hehir. I asked him, hang on, he may have messaged me right in this moment. No, he didn't answer my question. Sorry, Joey. Joey Robbins, what's up?
Are you ready?
Going live.
What I said, are you ready?
Can't do it. We'll do it live.
Okay. Think that you're better?
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Bow to the masters. Break it down.
If we ran Nintendo. If we ran Nintendo. If we ran Nintendo.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 74 of If We Ran Nintendo. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, and I'm joined by the greatest co-host in all of podcasting, Sean Capri. What is up, Sean?
I don't know what pacing is happening here. It's like start, stop. Start. It's
been a while.
Are you sure is this the right show, Bobby? Are you sure this isn't the Nintendo PlayStation podcast?
No, this is correct. This is correct.
This is right.
Although again, like I did 2 weeks ago, forgot to start recording right off Jump Street. So I just started now. So I'll have to grab all that footage just like I did the last time and make it nice and smooth by the time we get to actual iPod.
And then nobody notices unless we point it out like this.
Just like now. Yeah. Because last time was seamless. It was perfect. You didn't even notice.
It's pretty good.
If we didn't talk about it, you would have never known. But I'm fine with that. Letting our people know. Oh, look who's here. Mr. Watch'em.
I feel like I should have showered or something.
The 1 week you didn't shower and primp and take 5 hours.
You know, now that Jules is here, I think that I'll be right back. I should probably go grab some stuff from my collection because
you're fine.
You guys
had
the
that's between me and Jules.
Contest.
That's not for you. That's between me
and Jules. I've got a really nice new skin for my new 3DS.
Lord.
They call it. Yeah, Jules, you don't shower. That's fine. You don't have to.
Yeah, there you go.
He gets away with it. He gets away with it.
All right, so let me real quick. Let's say hello to the people that are here in the room. We got Joey Splats, Jason Lacey, Josh Stapleton, Jesse Armstrong, Jules Watch'em, Rybo.
Unbelievable.
And, anybody else that pops in, welcome to the room. Man, I don't understand why you drink so much McDonald's
soda. Because it's only $1 all summer. Do you guys have that commercial too?
No,
do you guys have that?
No, we don't have that.
Only $1 all summer.
No, we don't have that. Sean.
Gift that.
Sean.
Yes, Bobby. Yes.
Let us kick this episode off like we do each and every episode with our shout-outs.
Geek outs. We're gonna geek the crap out of this. Yeah.
Oh my lord.
We're going to geek out.
Oh my god.
Geek out.
Please calm down. Jeez. I don't know.
You know, I can't tell where I should be, Bobby. With you saying calm down, I'm getting a nice reaction from the chat here. I'm just gonna go with the crowd. You're gonna be real upset with me. I don't think that you and I are starting this show at the same level today. No. You seem, I don't know, it's distracted. Are you okay?
No.
Are you tired?
I'm really well today. Really,
you know what the funny thing is? Okay, so you and I are getting about the same amount of sleep these days, and with your new baby and my new baby, we're on sort of like the same page.
My new baby is called streaming.
Live streaming until 2:30 in the morning.
Which I'll probably do tonight.
What
honestly.
In the world?
I don't work tomorrow. It's going to be lovely. My first shout-out is going to go to Andrew Semicek. Dude hooked me up big time. Got me hooked up with this company to do a review. Might turn out to be a little bit more than just a review. They're talking about me coming in to do some promotional work with him.
What?
Yeah, man. It could be potentially pretty big. So can't really talk about too much about it yet, but I'm hyped. I'm really hyped, man. I messaged him and I was like, Andrew, man, thank you. If this works out the way they're talking, this could be really big things for me. And thank you so much, Andrew. I wholeheartedly appreciate that, man. He reached out to me. He was like, there was no one on the We the Nerdy team that I had to go to except for you. He's like, you are the Nintendo guy. And he actually told him that. He goes, I got a Nintendo guy. He's like, some would even call him
you are the Nintendo guru.
Yeah, he's like, some would call him a guru. And we're going to hook it up. And he did, man. He is the man. So
that's awesome. Andrew it is amazing. We the Nerdy is awesome, dude. Like I might be a little biased. It's nice to hear it coming from somebody else.
You know, well, here's the thing.
I'm a fan.
So
sweet.
So when we first started this podcast, we were not a part of We the Nerdy. Well, you were. Right. I wasn't. Mm-hmm. The podcast wasn't. Okay, when I say we, I mean the podcast. So the podcast wasn't, and then you reached out to him. Or I asked you, and you said, "Yeah, I'll ask him, and we'll see." And he was like, "Yeah, bring it on. We'll take it." And just immediate bumps in everything. Like the numbers went up and everything got better for us immediately right out the gates. And so a lot of the success I owe to him, seriously. And we owe to him. So I can't take anything from the guy. Another shout out is to Joseph Moran.
Ooh, formerly rebranding.
Formerly Poly Games. Now he is Bad Bit Games. Joseph reached out to me this weekend and asked me to help him. Well, he had just started questioning me, like, who did your logos and all that? I'm like, I did them. And he's like, oh, man, you're too busy. I can't ask you to do something for me. And I'm like, yeah, no, I got this. What are you thinking? Colors, this, that. And we went back and forth, and he was throwing colors at me and text and fonts and this and that. And I was putting it together as I did, and we got this really nice, I'm biased. I'm definitely biased, but it's a nice, pretty logo. Looks cool. Fits him, I think, very well, you know. And but he rebranded. Has a little video today where he's talking about rebranding. Had some very nice words to say about me, so I appreciate that, Joseph. And,
nice.
So I'm really excited for his whole rebrand and see how that goes. I got one more shout out.
Okay.
This one goes to Toby and TJ Centula for their custom amiibo that they did together. Their collaboration of Skull Kid. If
That's
anybody
awesome.
wants to see this all done, go to Nintendo Wire's YouTube page, and you're going to look up Custom Conquest. And that is a collaboration video. It's about a 50-minute video, but it is so good to watch. It's a collaboration video between Toby and TJ. TJ does like all the actual building of the amiibo and the tinkering and pulling stuff apart and making it all go together. And then Toby does the paint job on it. And man, when I tell you, it pops. It looks gorgeous. So I don't know. What do you have as far as go ahead. Good.
Well, on that note, it's just one of those things. It's like, this is a skill, like, it's sort of like the mechanics out there, like, or a magician, I think, are all the same. Like, I don't understand how this is possible. I don't understand how people, like, now there's a 50-minute video outlining this, but like, sometimes I look at these creations and I just don't, like, get how they made this happen. It's so amazing. And to know some people like that personally is kind of just amazing. Yeah. So I want to comment on that. I also want to give a quick shout out to everybody in the chat who's watching this live or even afterward, just looking at the video. If you notice that my resting face is a little odd, I'll disclose to you what I disclosed to Bobby shortly before we went live. I had leftover pork and rice, and I think I may have eaten it a little too fast, and it's upsetting my stomach right now a little bit, Bobby. I can feel like every inch of my large intestine processing
don't
this.
need to hear this.
But it's as if it just skipped the stomach, and like it's supposed to be more broken down by then. Okay. But rolling right into shout outs. So speaking of all that, I want to give a shout out to Jason Lacey, Lucas Rhodes, and Flux Deposed. And I'll tell you why, Bobby. I tell you why I single these guys out. So as you know, We the Gamercast hit episode 100.
Yes.
We won't dwell on that too much. But probably one of the coolest things I've experienced in podcasting, aside from meeting you, obviously, and doing the show.
Obviously.
Obviously, very, very cool and very nice responses today. It's been quite a day. Probably the most like cosmic thing that happened today, the most monumental and the most noteworthy thing. Nothing else in the sky even compares to dropping We the Gamercast number 100. But so putting this whole thing together was a monumental effort, and I couldn't have done it without people I'll get to in a second. But I literally have Jason Lacey and Lucas Rose. I have clips, and I forgot to put it in there. Like I literally just forgot. I've got my list, and I feel so badly. Like it had. So I mean, I was already feeling bad as I was putting together that by nature some people are going to be left out, and I wanted so bad to have Jason and Lucas in there, and I feel awful.
Here's my question: am I in that show?
Will you just listen to it? I'm
just asking, am I in episode 100?
And I forgot about you as well, Bobby.
Well, I know that I'm in 100. I already heard myself.
Yeah,
but that's the point.
You are in 100.
That's all that matters. As long as you have me in there, everything's okay. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I should have played along. That was a good like wrestling setup. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. So real quick before we jump into our first topic, I promise.
I got 3 more. I got 3 more quick ones, Bobby.
Okay, go ahead. I thought you were done. Go ahead.
No, I'm not.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I love your mug, by the way.
Thank you.
Really quickly, you've heard these shout-outs already. I couldn't have done episode 100. That's really nice up against your face. Couldn't have done it without Josh Stapleton, Antonio Guillen, and Adam Leonhardt. Honestly, like they made it like I wouldn't. It would have happened episode 100, but it wouldn't have been something that I'm so proud of. Like I don't listen back to really any We the Gamer cast, but I listened to the whole thing and I'm like I was genuinely entertained. Like as somebody who has forgotten a lot of the conversations, and then when they come back, it kind of reignites in your memory. Yeah. But I liked it. Like I'm really proud of it. So I just wanted, and I couldn't have done it without Josh and Antonio and Adam. I think it looks great. The intro looks amazing with Adam's artwork and Antonio's creativity, and Josh going through all of the episodes to clip everything out and timestamp stuff. Impossible without him. So it looks like your stomach is a little upset. Did you have pork and rice as well?
No.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. So here's the thing. I was going to get into this a little bit before we go into it. And listen, Todd Oxtra, don't tweet me, don't yell at me if this goes a little bit too long into the start of the show. Like,
I understand why you're trying to cut me off. That's right. That's straight.
You know what I mean? Yep. Like I got told like 30 minutes before you got to the first topic last week. I don't care. Yeah, but we got other tweets that said 30 minutes and they're just getting into topics. Yeah.
I love this show. Okay. Like, what do you want us to do? I don't know.
Yeah, I can't win. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I could care less. Anyway, so today, right, for those that know, I have a new job. And I officially start on Wednesday. But I got a call on Friday last week asking me to come, or not Friday, like Thursday last week, whatever it was, whatever day last week. Monday, I think, last week, actually, when I'm thinking about it, actually. But I got asked to come to a meeting that they were having today. And I was like, okay, I don't know what the hell that was all about. Somebody's going bye-bye real quick. Hold on 1 second. Let me just.
I'm with you. Can I do it?
I got him. See you later, buddy. Anyway, stupid. So the thing of it is like, they contacted me, they asked me to come to this meeting. And I was like, okay, I'll come down. I'll go to the meeting. No big deal. So I go in, and I didn't know what to expect. I was so nervous. Like, my stomach was tossing and turning. I messaged her. I don't freak out at stuff. Like, I'm normally Mr. Cool. I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm normally going into a situation, nothing ever phases me, nothing ever bothers me. This was kind of a going home of sorts. Because
a lesbian story?
Because I had worked for this company 12 years ago. And I left, not really fully wanting to leave when I left. Mm-hmm. And in the back of my mind, always would think back to that job and go, man, I wish I would have never left that job. I really wish I was still there. And the opportunity came up that I was allowed, or not allowed, but the opportunity came up where it merged again, and I was able to go back home, per se. So I go in, and I sit down at the meeting, and there's all these people from the 3 different companies that are all there. Apparently what they did was they brought in all the, like, managers and stuff together from all the 3 companies to have, like, a meeting of the minds. So they go around the room, and they're asking, like, what do you think? And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, like, I haven't been here in 12 years, man. What am I going to bring to the table? You know what I mean? Like, what am I going to say? So they get to me, and the owner of the company, he goes, when do you start? And I go, Wednesday. He goes, you don't have nothing to say. Move on. And I started laughing. I go, well, I do have an idea. And so I gave them my idea, and then they liked it. They wrote it down and stuff, and then they were like, then the owner turns around and goes, I just want to say something. Bob is coming back to us after being gone for a very long time, and we are extremely excited to have him back. We think that he's going to do wonderful things for us, and we are so happy to have him back as part of us. And it made it feel good. His daughter, who I used to work for, actually was at the meeting. She came running up to me, gave me a hug, told me, man, it's been so long since I saw you. So when the meeting was done, when the meeting was done, I went outside, and the owner was getting into his car, and I walked up to him, and I said, hey, Tom, I just want to say, man, thank you for bringing me back. That means the world to me that you brought me back. And he goes, man, you don't understand how excited we are to have you back. We know how good you are and what you're going to do to turn this company around, the place they're putting me. And we're excited to see what you can do there because we watched what you did at the other place. And I was like, you know what, man? I said, this is me coming home. And I said, I am so grateful that you are bringing me back home. And he goes, that's good to hear. I'm so happy to hear that. And we shook hands, and when I went home...
Well, that's good.
And I felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulders, man.
Yes.
I was just like, this is amazing. Like, I felt... Like, I'm a little subdued, but that's just because, like, I think I was so stressed out.
We have a full heart.
Yeah, but I think I was so stressed out, and now I'm just like, whew, it's all good. Now I know that I made the right decision. Because, you know... Until you get in there, you're always worried, like, did I make the right move? Did I do the right thing? And I even said to Tony tonight, I was like, even if we struggle financially in the beginning, I know I made the right move. And that's that's the hardest decision, you know.
Yeah, man.
And I'm sitting here saying that, like,
it's a big deal.
Jules, thank you. Jules says happy, you know. And, like, I think this makes me think of Jules. You know what I mean? Like, him and Greg splitting and going separate ways, like, that's a huge, like, you know, the whole time you're sitting there thinking to yourself, like, am I doing the right thing? And it's like, then you have that aha moment, like, yep, this is exactly what I'm meant to do. So, everybody in the chat, man, thank you so much for the kind words. You guys are awesome. Jesse and Rybo, like, I appreciate that, and Matt, thank you. So you ready to do some talk? You ready to have some fun?
Yeah, let's do something new. Let's do something new.
We have a new segment. We have a brand new segment.
Yeah, man, it's called... Sean struggles with his rice and pork.
Oh, stop. It is called... Here we go. God. So, Sean, what are the pros and the JoyCons...
JoyCons!
...of owning a Wii U? So, I kind of wanted to bring this to the table... Thank you, Sheldon. I wanted to bring this to the table to kind of be like... We have to have something new. We got to do so. We've been doing just If We Ran Nintendo topics forever. And as much as I love doing them, we do have an If We Ran Nintendo topic coming up as well. But... Yep. My thing was like, I needed to add some spice to this. Something that nobody else is doing. Again, that's the whole mix of this whole show. Something that nobody else is doing. And I thought, let's just go through the pros and the JoyCons of owning the Wii U and where we are with this. So, and obviously, you know, a little play on the name. That doesn't hurt any, right?
I was wondering if we were going to jump into pro controllers and JoyCons. You kind of lose it a little bit.
Yeah,
like
that's a little extent. Yeah, it's a little bit much.
So let's acknowledge that we thought of it.
Yes, we did. We did think about it. So right off Jump Street, I think probably the number one pro to the Wii U was the fantastic game library. Like, they had some really heavy hitters on the Wii U. Just to spotlight a couple of them, like Mario 3D World, Wind Waker HD, Smash 4, Splatoon the original, Mario Maker, Yoshi's Woolly World, Tokyo Mirage Sessions, Mario Kart 8. That's just to name a few. And
yeah, man,
there were Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, Rayman Legends. Like, they really, really knocked it out the park when it came to their games. And there was so many, when you looked at the Metacritics, there was so many 9s, 10s right there all the time. And just, now I don't want to say 9s, but high 9s. You know, they were just banging out of the park every single game. For a while there, they could do no wrong. And it was like home run after home run after home run. So I think that's the number one pro to owning a Wii U, if you're going to own a Wii U. Do
you want to phrase this in like terms of like owning a Wii U right now, like knowing that there's a 3DS still there, you could be playing a Switch. Like, I was even taking this as like, what are the pros and cons of keeping your Wii U if you've got one?
That's a good idea too. You know,
and
what?
like
that might be even be
like
that might be
like we can talk about. Obviously, we agreed that the Wii U was great, but to kind of put a little like, should I get rid of it? Should I trade up to a Switch? Like, should I keep it around? I am always of the mind that we should be keeping our hardware. Mm-hmm. I don't think that you should really ever sell it. It's not really worth it. Almost always will regret it. But one of the reasons to hold on to it and have it still plugged into your TV, Bobby, Virtual Console.
That's on my list. That is on my list. It's huge virtual. It's a great Virtual Console library. They really did a great number with that, and absolutely all day long. The one that I also have is it's the first time we actually get HD Nintendo games.
Yeah,
so
man.
like it's the first foray of Nintendo, and that's the thing. Like when you look at Sony, you look at Xbox, and they had a whole generation of HD games, and Nintendo came in rather late to the whole HD thing. You know, while Nintendo was working on the Wii, both of those two had HD consoles. Nintendo comes in and right out the gates is banging 1080 60 frames right off the jump street, like with Mario Kart and all these games. Like they just got it so quickly and ran with it. So there's something to be said about that. Like the quality of the games, the quality of the look of the games were bar none the best.
Yeah, man.
Across the board. Like Wind Waker HD is amazing, dude. That game looks so pretty. It's not even funny. So that's something I wanted to spotlight as well. Another thing I have is the eShop. It actually.
You guys are talking about this on Nintendo PlayStation Podcast. You're totally right, man.
Yeah, it was
that
so
store
much nice.
is fantastic.
Yeah. You had the music
right.
playing, the selection, everything's broken out. You can look for new games. You can look at Virtual Console games. You can look at Nintendo games, Super Nintendo. You can look at the indie games. Everything is broken out in its own little section. Then they had like a sales section, which is very few and far between. But that's not the point.
It's just empty, just crickets.
Yeah, just crickets bouncing around, jumping around.
They just laugh. That troll face comes up.
But the other thing that they did for the first time was they did the crossing where your money crossed between the eShop. You know, like
that's
between
right.
the 3DS and the Wii U, so you could put your money in one and you could spend it on both. That was a nice little touch that they did for the Wii U. The last thing that they did for the Wii U with the eShop was you could pre-download games. So it got to the point where you could actually pre-purchase a game and then pre-download it. So that when launch time came, you just went and fired it up and played. That was a nice touch that they really did across all that. The controllers carried over from the Wii, which I felt was nice because of the fact of like everybody had controllers from the Wii. So the fact that you could actually start this console with some controllers in your hand and not really go spending a lot of money was a nice touch that they did. I also have backwards compatible to the Wii.
That's my last one. Yeah. That's the thing that like I think the Wii gets a bit of the shaft at this point in history, Bobby, when we're looking back and like we joke around like, oh, haha, it was such a crappy. No, man. Some absolutely incredible games on there. And the fact that like not even just the controllers, but the sensor bar carried over so that you could point and operate it the same. And you went into Wii mode and it was a Wii. Like it was so true backwards compatibility. Definitely. I still have like that was probably one of the last generations where I'll have a whole collection of physical media, and I still have all that stuff. I just popped in Mario Strikers Charged just the other day. Popped it into my Wii U, and it because I haven't had my Wii plugged in a while.
Well, I remember last year when you were doing Extra Life and you started playing Galaxy 2.
Oh yeah, man. Yes, totally.
Yeah, you just popped the disc in and started playing. Like that was amazing.
And that's how you stream it. Like I don't know how I would stream that. I don't know how I would stream the Wii.
Yeah, so the Wii. Yeah. I got two more things that I felt that are definitely pros when you're talking about the Wii U. External hard drive support from almost day one. Yes, it had a small hard drive when it came. You had a choice of an 8 and a 32, but man, that hard drive, that external hard drive, dude, I put a 2 terabyte on mine, and I never even came close to filling it up. It was like, dude, I got like almost 200 games on that thing. That's why I'll never get rid of it, because I literally have 200 games sitting right there, all pre-downloaded onto my Wii U. I can't get rid of it, you know what I mean? And then the last thing that I felt was a very strong pro when it came to the Wii U was being able to play off TV mode. You know what I mean? So
yeah, man. That's the dream. Like that's what ended up. That's the reason we are where we are right now with the Switch.
Yeah.
Was that short? It was a bit of a. You could almost feel yourself being kind of bungee corded to it, but it's awesome, man. That thing was just absolutely incredible technology.
How long?
Just a second. I was trying to be discreet.
Well,
you know, you've got your like screen that you say like we'll be back. You've got your screen. You got the whole thing that says like we'll be live in just a second.
Well,
Thanks for making this a thing.
Oh, stop!
We're just gonna take a break in between segments here, like a radio show or something.
Okay, relax. It's fine.
Look at my face is red. Like I'm trying. You guys are talking on Nintendo PlayStation. How professional I am.
All right, guys.
Where did my video go?
You're back.
Oh, that's weird.
Stop. Relax.
I'm just looking at the screen. This is recording all weird. I messed things up.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
So before we jump into the cons, we're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll be right back in a couple seconds. Don't go anywhere. Okay, and we're back.
Oh God.
Okay, so we're gonna jump into the JoyCons at this moment of owning a Wii U. We kind of went real quick. Let's just give a quick refresher if we can. So the pros we felt were the fantastic library, finally getting Nintendo games in HD, a great virtual console, eShop, in all its glory. The controllers from the Wii carried over, backwards compatible to the Wii, external hard drive support, and being able to play off screen. That's huge. Something else that Matt Knight brought up too was the ability to like watch YouTube videos and do stuff like that, like right through and on your TV. Like it's almost like Apple TV and stuff like that. Like I would watch Nintendo digital events and all that stuff right through my Wii U, right? Go to YouTube and stream it. But of course, there were some cons. There were some issues with the system. So let's kind of jump into those. I think number one is not. Well, you know what? The number one, if you're going to go number one, is the fantastic library. Number one for a con is the lack of third-party support and pretty much being non-existent. The system started out very strong with a lot of third-party support and quickly just went away. It's, it fell flat in my mind. Like I felt like the third parties were almost working against Nintendo to some degree. They would half-step it all the time. Like they would put a game out and then they wouldn't completely push through with it. The biggest one, obviously, and I bring it up a lot, is the Mass Effect one, where Wii U got Mass Effect 3 and everybody else got the trilogy. And it made just, it was horrible. It was horrible. Not always stable internet. They've always kind of had an issue with the internet, but I felt like the Wii U, even though it got better from the Wii, that wasn't saying much. Like, getting better from the Wii was really not that difficult to do, but there was a lot of things wrong with it, ultimately. Lack of proper voice chat I have as well. And what I mean by that is, that's still an issue today, but again, it was one of those half steps. Like, okay, we're going to give you voice chat in Mario Kart, but only when you're in the lobby. And that was like, same thing with Smash. We're going to give you voice chat, but only when you're in the lobby before you get to fight and all that.
You know what I liked about that, though, is that the microphone was built into the gamepad. Like, I thought that was really cool. Nice carryover from the 3DS.
That was really nice, actually.
Where, like, I'm actually shocked that we don't have that. The system that I think could really benefit from that, and I'm shocked that they didn't build it in as soon as they cut, obviously it was Kinect, or it was Xbox. When they cut Kinect, the one thing that people did like about it was the voice stuff. So they could have adopted what or Nintendo did, have a microphone in there.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly. Another big issue was the distance of the gamepad being allowed to be from the console. So like maybe 10 foot you got that you could be away
you're
from
not
it.
It's not poop life with that thing. Like man, if I didn't have like my phone with me, like just chatting in the chat during our quick break here. Yeah, like I'd be totally hooped. So luckily, we've come a long way for poop life.
That's definite. I mean, and it's not even that. Like if you just wanted to go, like for me, here's an example. For me, our living room is, say the living room is here, and then maybe like 20 feet away from the living room starts our kitchen. And if I wanted to sit at the kitchen table and play, I could only sit at certain chairs. I couldn't sit at all 4 chairs because I would lose connection. And it was just weird like that. Like that was one thing that just, I never got and I never understood. And then the other
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to jump in and say, like, there's a couple of things surrounding the gamepad. I think just the gamepad in general, like I like it. I think that the technology is phenomenal, but perception quickly became reality where it just was like this anchor that just kept that thing from lifting off. People were wanting something out of that thing that never was going to happen. And like, I just don't understand where this need for this thing to exist, it just really kept them from lifting off. So, I mean, that was one thing. That is what it is. But even now, as I look back, goodness gracious, my dogs must have to go to the bathroom as well. Trying to get outside. You have another thing to plug in. This was like, the battery life was one thing, but that never really bothered me too much because I think I still get more time out of that than my DualShock 4, and there's a screen on it. But I don't really love that I have to have another thing plugged in. I've got to use up another plug on my wall or take up another space on my power bar. It's just a little inconvenience, if you know what I mean.
For me, see the thing with me is, Sharia, what's up? How you doing?
Like, why didn't they have like a dongle from the? I'm sorry, Sharia. Why didn't they have a dongle from the Wii U? Like, why couldn't you charge it from like a USB cable to the gamepad? You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. Like that's kind of a bit of a pain. You have to have like a second place to plug it in.
Well, for me, I bought the extended battery, so I never had an issue. I got 5 to 6 hours out of my battery, so I never had an issue playing at all. The only time was when I actually started playing Splatoon for, 8-hour sessions, and then I'd have to plug into the wall. But I also, the way I was, like if I was sitting, say this is my dad or my recliner upstairs, and I have my coffee table right here to the left of me. I had my gamepad sat on the coffee table, so I could just easily pull. So if I had to charge in, I just disconnected the dock and plugged it right into the gamepad, and I was good to go. So I was always right there connected. I never had an issue like that. Like
they just could have had a more elegant solution, which is not really what we expect from Nintendo. Well, the Switch really isn't elegant. The dock is super elegant. Yeah. But that's the thing. Like that could have been one in the same to really make it like this is a new console instead of the gamepad existing all on its own. It was always so separate. We really didn't know what to make of it. I don't know. That's my whole thing.
The other thing too was
the back of my. Sorry, go ahead.
The other thing was it felt cheap. It felt.
Oh, definitely.
It just felt like Fisher Price, for lack of a better term. The screen was not great. Screen was a 480, 480p. It was okay. Some games look good. But ultimately, like, the other thing I felt that was weird was there were certain games that just made you use the gamepad. Yeah. And I'm fine, I guess, with that to some degree. But
because everybody was screaming for that, though. Well, why does this thing exist? Like, show me why this thing exists, and then people would crap all over it when you would use it.
But that thing, that whole narrative just bothered me altogether anyway.
Me too.
Because the fact of the matter was when I first got it, I thought, oh, this is a gigantic DS.
Exactly.
That's the way I viewed it as. It was like, okay, they're going with a gigantic DS. Like, here's my lower screen right here in my hand, and there's my big screen that I play on, and that's just how it is. And then when I played games, I looked down, the map was there. It was nice. I just where I kind of like where I had issues with it was like when they made me have to use motion controls with like Star Fox Zero, and
that's not that game's problem.
What's that game's problem?
It's boring.
That game's problem is
Chicken Walker sucks. The gyroscoper thing sucks.
A lot of it has
motion controls actually were not bad.
A lot of it has to do with
cool.
No, stop. A lot of it has to do with the fact that you have to use motion control, and you have to use 2 screens, and it's very difficult to do.
Okay. Well.
So
it's also difficult to play a game while you're falling asleep because it's so boring.
Well, that's whatever. Stop. That's your boy's favorite game.
Johnny Casino?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He thinks it's the greatest game ever.
I know.
He's got bad taste.
Aww.
Okay, so that is our new segment, Sean. Pros and JoyCons of something.
Hopefully next week goes a little better for us.
We'll go a little better with next week. This is the first one, so it's kind
I'm
of
not
like
gonna eat.
Yeah, next time, like, don't eat no rice and old pork and stuff like that. Like,
God.
Like, what are you doing, man? And you sent me a picture before when I was like, okay, I'm ready. When you're ready.
Even the picture in my face is like, this is not a good idea.
And you're like, look at this. I'm so happy I'm eating. And I'm like, yeah, come on, let's go. Let's go do our show. So, if we ran Nintendo...
Ooh, the name of the show.
Would we allow developers to restrict the Switch to one function, i.e. strictly handheld or strictly docked mode like Severed is? So the question is, Rybo, Pro and JoyCons of pork and rice.
Pro, tastes good. Cons?
Cons interrupts the show.
Just no.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the sweat.
So this is a topic that, I mean, it really is starting to get nailed now because Drinkbox did this.
Mm-hmm.
And people are questioning it. And when I first thought about it, I thought, yeah, I'm good with this. This is perfect. This is fine. But then I thought, this could be bad. Because I think it puts you in the situation of the beauty of the Switch is the ability to play at home, take it on the go. If you start to tell people, like, you can only play this way, and you can only play that way, I think people are going to start to turn on the console to some degree.
Do you think so?
I just have a weird feeling, man.
So maybe if touch controls can get out of hand.
Yeah.
Because those games they cost less to make, and if Nintendo doesn't keep control of how many of these games populate the eShop, then I think that it can cause the Switch to have a bit of an identity crisis.
Yeah.
But if Nintendo does manage their catalogs pretty carefully, and I think that what they can do is like almost make you feel like you've got 2 or 3 different devices by having those like this selection of games that are played in different ways. Yeah. But the games are done specifically. So I think that like if you're gonna have a game be the first one to say this is touch control only, or that combination, I think Severed actually isn't even that. You do have to use the Joy-Cons as well as doing your swiping. Yeah. At least it was with the Vita. I didn't play it on.
I thought that Nintendo...
Like, you moved around with the D-pad.
Yeah. I thought that Nintendo should have gone to Drinkbox and said, look, you have to do both. You're going to have to put it on the TV, and you're going to have people use the Joy-Cons as their swipes. You know what I mean? And let them make the decision how they want to play it. But I think that when you... Because here's the problem. This is what I really, truly see this becoming an issue. Obviously, companies are getting a little bit more juice out of it when it's docked, I think. It seems that way because you're not running that screen. And they're able to take that power from the screen and implement it someplace else.
Right.
And I have this weird feeling that you're going to start to see companies going like, well, this is a docked-only game. And the minute they start allowing docked-only... I'm not saying they're going to, but I feel like the minute they start allowing docked-only games, it's DOA. The Switch is done. Because then you're in a situation where people are going to be like, well, why am I buying this now? This makes no sense for me to buy. The whole beauty of me buying a third-party game on the Switch over the PS4 and the Xbox One is the ability to take it on the go.
I see what you're saying.
And that's my fear. My fear isn't so much of making it being like,
touch only.
Touch only. My fear is making it where they go, hey, we want this game to be docked only. And then what happens?
Because of power.
Because of power. And it's not like they're going to really pull that much power out of it, but third parties. Third parties might just be like, we just need that extra little juice. in order to bring this game over, and then Nintendo gets themselves in a weird predicament. So I think they need to be careful with letting companies do this, just because I think it could potentially hurt them in the long
You
run.
have convinced me, Bobby. Usually I come into this and like we end up coming to an agreement. I've come full circle.
Yeah, that's,
180.
Yeah,
I'm in a different place for sure.
yeah. That's my fear. My fear is that they're gonna get themselves jammed up in the future, and we're gonna have problems. So
Yeah, man.
I would ultimately that would have been my answer to Drinkbox. Would have been like, hey guys, no, you're not gonna. You're gonna have to use
Ooh.
the JoyCons. And sadly, does that mean that Drinkbox just turns around and goes, all right, we're not gonna bring this game to the Switch?
Probably, because it probably wouldn't be as good a game.
Yeah.
Like, you're swiping furiously. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever played it,
Oh
Bobby.
yeah, I
It's
played
really
it.
good.
I played it.
You played it on the Wii U, right?
Yeah, I played it on the Wii U. I played it on the Wii U.
How did
Yeah,
that work?
So the Wii U, the way it worked is the map was on the TV, and you played the game in handheld all the time.
Oh, that's interesting.
So you were swiping.
Well, because there was
monsters.
still the signal that went back and forth. Like you couldn't do that. You couldn't send a signal from the Switch to the TV.
No.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Look at that. There's a pro. Like, why didn't they do? They should have had more like that.
Yeah, yeah.
With the
yeah,
Wii U, you know what I mean?
Yeah, ultimately.
Well, mind you,
they did that with some
Rainbow
games.
Curse was like that.
Yeah, Rainbow Curse did that, which drove
Kirby.
me crazy because I was like, I just want to look at this beautiful.
Because it was so
clay
clearly a
game.
2DS or a 3DS game.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, instead of
So I don't know. Yeah, we knocked that topic.
Careful
out.
management. If we ran Nintendo, careful management, Bobby.
Agreed. So we pretty much knocked that topic out quicker than I thought it was going to be.
Yep.
So we got about 12 minutes left in the show, and I really don't want to end the show that early. So I wanted to ask you,
Yeah.
what was your reasoning to buying a Scorpio or an X?
Ooh. Okay, so that I was on my way home. I'm like, I kind of want to talk about this Xbox thing, but it's a Nintendo show.
That's fine.
But I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna relate it back to the Switch when the Switch was announced, and I famously was very unimpressed. There's a great picture of me in these headphones looking at the 1-2 Switch reveal and just thinking, what on earth? And at that point, I said to you, I'm not the guy who buys consoles on day one. And it seems like all of a sudden, Wii U was the first one in a long time that I bought day one. I didn't buy an Xbox One day one. I did not buy a PlayStation 4 day one. Switch now, Project Scorpio. And I don't really have much else to tell you, Bobby, other than a combination of gift cards, a great name, a limited edition name. Project Scorpio Limited Edition, I think, is like super cool. And my number one rule, which I learned very, very well with the Switch, was I can always cancel my pre-order. And so I didn't want to feel like I missed out on this opportunity to buy like this, what I think is a pretty cool looking and sounding like limited edition.
Yeah.
If they didn't have the Project Scorpio limited edition console, I would have waited to maybe when it comes out and maybe not even get it at that point.
But what's the thing? What other than the name?
So my big so why do I want like a more powerful Xbox? Is that sort of what you
I
mean?
get that, but it's just a name that you pre-ordered because of a name.
Yeah, and it's got like the green text on it. It comes in that cool box. I don't even know, Bobby. Like I said, I can cancel it. I just didn't want to miss it.
I heard all this crap when it came to the Switch too.
I didn't want to miss the Switch, and I'm so glad that I did that. I can always cancel.
Yeah, I didn't.
You know what I mean?
I didn't get one.
I don't know.
Obviously, I didn't get one.
I got two actually.
Did you really?
Chelsea got one too. She went to the EB Games close by, and she ended up.
Too.
We're not going to keep two. It's in like in case they mess up quantities and things like that, and we still want it. We're just going to get the one. But we're probably going to trade in. We've got 3 PlayStation 4s right now. We're going to probably trade in one because we got a really good price on the third one. So that'll probably go towards that. Plus these gift cards.
See, now I'm looking at what Joey says in the chat, and he said, I just pre-ordered a Minecraft Xbox One S limited edition. It looks beautiful. I really do like that Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
I really like it.
That is
man.
nice.
That is a real, and the controllers, dude. The one's a creeper and the other one's a pig. Dude,
yeah.
I sent pictures of Tony and she was like, "Oh my god, That's amazing. Like, seriously, they're really cool looking controllers. I know people are like crapping all over them today and giving them a hard time, but man, stop. Like, I think it's ingenious. I really do. I think they're taking advantage of their number one license that they have, and they're really pushing the envelope.
I'm surprised it took them that long.
Yeah.
I also want to quickly give a shout out to Joey Craig and apologize for the quick topic. I'm not feeling well. If I think you were late, I'm really just not feeling good. Trying to.
Don't listen to Joey. Don't listen,
dude.
to Joey.
I would do another.
You know
I would do another 3 episodes with you this week to make up for it. I
No.
really would do that.
Let me tell you something about Joey King over there. All right, I was gonna.
Joey King.
Joey King. All right, listen.
Yeah.
No, don't get into. No. The guy is not even a Nintendo fan.
He's got a point, man. I was looking forward to that topic. I'm just not feeling good, guys. I'm sorry.
What else is there to talk about?
I'm sure I could come up with more. I'm just a little off my game, man. I'm surprised my stomach. I'm surprised if you guys can hear it coming through the microphone. Like, it's noisy up in here. I'm not feeling good. And I was so happy to hear you and Toby talk about how professional I was and how I'm able to just like keep it like everything that's bugging me off camera, just like keep it away. This is unavoidable.
Oh,
and you know what? It happens. It happens, Bobby.
Yeah. I will say this though. You
want to give a separate title to the show?
No, it's fine. I'm really excited about the fact that we can now move our Wii U worlds of Minecraft over to the Switch. That's going to happen in the next update. That's really kind of cool. Nintendo, I got to say this. Nintendo, for all their faults, it just seems like with the Switch, they're willing to work with people and to do things to make things happen for the players. Unlike the other guy that swears they're for the players and instead he just bends them over. But I love that. I love the fact that they're just like, hey, you know what? We think our fans would like the fact that they could pull their worlds that they created on the Wii U over to the Switch. I would do that. I have a world built on my Wii U that I was like, I was really hoping I could pull that over. If I could do it with my PS4, I would love it. But Sony won't let the crossplay happen on their console. So,
how many hours you got into Minecraft on your PS4?
I don't know.
You should stream Minecraft. Why don't you stream Minecraft?
I will. That's the next thing I'm going to do. I can't, dude. I can't look at the time on the PS4.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Because the thing goes to sleep and it keeps running in the background. So the times
These are
are
the
never
things
legit.
you should complain about on Nintendo PlayStation Podcast.
Well, you know, there's a lot of things I can complain about on Nintendo PlayStation Podcast that are very valid. You know what I mean? Like, everybody acts like Sony is the be-all, end-all, and I think they're the be-all, end-all of garbage. Like, they just really... I really do, man. I think that they're becoming very arrogant and very cocky lately.
Can somebody clip that out? Is there a way to like clip that video out? Because that was great.
It's the truth.
I want that on repeat.
Because you know what, man? Let me tell you what. And the people that bug me the most are the fans. Because... And I'm talking to Sony fans, and I'm talking a lot of gamer fans too, honestly. When you think about it, like, we just had that debate yesterday where Jacob Rush brought it up. And my thing with Jacob is, like, look, I know you're a Nintendo fan, but, bro, you're out of line with that. Like, the fact that they did the Xbox One X, it's no different than the new 3DS, and it's no different when Switch 2 hits in a year or two. Like, stop. Yep. Don't sit there and go, like, oh, this is pointless. It's very poignant.
Pointful.
Yeah, but it's very poignant to Xbox because the fact of the Xbox One was getting smoked in power. It could not even hit 1080p when they were making games. So they needed the upgrade. I felt like Sony did the upgrade just to do the upgrade because they were afraid of what Xbox was doing. I don't feel like Sony really had to do an upgrade. And the upgrade was such a half step, it's not even funny. What I felt like, this was much needed. And the thing that blows me away and cracks me up is when Sony had the most power, that was what they threw in everybody's face.
Yep.
And now the Xbox has the most power, it's going, well, what's the point? You don't need it. Why do we need it? We don't... Really? Really? That's where we're going now. That's your defense now.
I'm just saying,
stop.
Screenshot those when IGNs and GameSpot and everybody else is coming up with the new comparisons of Xbox One X versus Pro versus all the rest.
Yeah.
And I mean, I never really saw my situation is like I never really saw a difference anyways. I always looked at the PS4 and the Xbox and went like those are different.
Yeah.
But obviously people cared. Like those videos were so popular because they got trillions of hits.
Yeah.
Like they're so crazy.
Yeah.
So obviously that's a hot topic for people. I think Xbox is smarter than people are giving them credit for leaning into that. But unfortunately it's happening at a time where they've obviously got this drought where, you know, Nintendo is killing it with first party and actually reminding or just making the whole question of, is third party as important as we've been making it out to be all these years? Well, and they're doing the same thing with power. They're also making a question like, do you need all the power? Like the rules that the things and the facts that we say as gospel and like hard facts, it's all like, none of it's in a vacuum. Everything is being impacted by everybody else. These three juggernauts all swinging. It changes the conversation and it changes what people find to be important, how they weigh their decisions. Like there's just not one thing that applies to all gamers. Well, and that's why I like having these long form conversations.
But here's the other thing that I love about Sony fans. So when Phil Spencer pulls out the lie that is the word exclusive, right? And then all of a sudden, Sony fans jump on the wagon of like, well, they really don't have exclusives. We have all the exclusives. Then Nintendo whips out their exclusive ping, and then they go, well, it don't matter. Exclusives don't matter. Really? Do they matter or don't they matter? That's what I want to know. You can't have it both ways. They use these defenses to just swing any way they want to. You want to talk about the stuff that Nintendo does wrong. The fact that I had to wait 4 years to be able to hook an external hard drive to my PS4, which, by the way, I don't need now because I already put a 2 terabyte hard drive in the thing. I had to pull it apart and change the whole thing. And then the kicker was I had to go get the OS, but I needed a specific flash drive to get the OS because the PS4 wouldn't read any flash drive that I had. So I tried it the first time. It wouldn't read. I had to go to the store and spend another $30 on a flash drive that I had to use in order to install the OS back on it after it was done. Stop. Just
that was like this first thing that made me start going like, nope, Xbox is my thing. Graphics are one thing, but the whole experience and same thing with the Wii U. Like you just plug it in and it just works.
Yeah. It just blows my mind how, you know, like everybody wants to point at the Nintendo guy and say like, oh, you give them free passes all the time. Eat balls. You guys give free passes to Sony every way you turn. This whole nonsense of why EA Access is not on the PS4. Explain it to me. Somebody tell me why that's not on there. Other than the fact that Sony didn't like it and didn't like the fact that, you know, just giving something to the players. For the players? When? When it suits Sony. That's when it's for the players. Right there, Sony. Anyway, now I'm all fired up. So here's the point is Sony has most of the multiplats and top of great exclusives. Where let's go head to head. Let's go Nintendo versus
I'm about
Sony.
At this conversation.
Yeah, let's go Nintendo versus Sony in terms of exclusives. Straight up, they cannot compete at all. Every single month since the launch of the Switch, Nintendo is getting an exclusive that they can't even compete with. There is no way that they can compete with Nintendo. No way, no how. Doesn't happen. I don't see any. Where's Horizon in the scores of like what Nintendo got for Zelda? Nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. Sorry.
I don't know. They're kind of close.
They're not that close.
They're pretty close. They're kind of like head to head for Game of the Year.
No, they're only going head to head because Sony has nothing else.
They've got a lot. This is a bad year to bring that up.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not. I don't agree. I disagree with you, Sean.
I know. It's fine.
And they have a lot
I don't have the intestinal fortitude to argue with you right now.
But my other problem, too, is why is it okay for Sony to do timed exclusives, but Xbox does a timed exclusive, and we have an issue with it?
Now you're preaching to the choir. Or steal third parties and make them exclusive like Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah. Like, why is that okay? Why is it okay to drop a boatload of money on a game and get it on your console exclusive, but when Nintendo did it with Bayonetta, it was the worst thing that ever happened. I don't have an issue with Sony. I get what they're doing. It's all about business. I got a problem with the Sony fans that act like it's okay for them to do it and nobody else to do the stuff. That's my biggest issue with them.
I got you, Bobby.
So
I got you.
Like, Jules is like Poor Sean here. Sean's just like, shut up,
I mean,
so I can go back to the bathroom.
He's not wrong, but I'm also... This is a good conversation, though. Like, I like it.
Yeah.
But I think we're not going to come to see eye to eye on the fact that I actually think 2017 is an absolutely stellar year to be a Sony PlayStation owner. And if you're just talking about exclusive, it's a really, really good year. And if you really like Japanese games, it's especially a good year. But I'm not going to say one's better than the other. I think that they're both, from that perspective, they're both awesome. Like, really, really good.
You can keep,
but you can't download worth crap on the PS.
Well, that's another. We won't even get into that.
All right. So is that all?
6 hours to download a patch.
Just so 99 plus hours.
Just so I can play Doom.
We should have everybody.
Doom, please.
Yeah, 90.
Nonsense.
Joey Splatz's name is really, really hitting home for me right now. What's up, Joey? Thanks for supporting, man.
Jesus.
Patreon.com/makeusbetter.
Yes. Thank you
guys. I don't know why you would.
Oh my God. Thank you guys for checking us out on iTunes, dayspace.com, Google Play, WeTheNerdy.com. Go check us out over there, please. Definitely check us out there. YouTube, the YouTube video live as well as recorded.
Are you sure you don't have to go to the bathroom too?
I'm fine, man.
You're a little off.
Good.
You're a little
off. I am
off.
good. You're the one. I keep looking at you, and you're like rubbing your face. And stuff.
I know, but I'm also like, look how pudgy I am. Like my cheeks are just like, I'm retaining water.
Oh my God. Anyway, follow us.
Yes, Joey King. Like my whole body is like breaking out. Like I'm just like, look, my neck is red. Like what the hell is happening to me?
Sean is literally dying right on here. We're gonna watch.
Have you guys played Inside? Yeah. That's what's happening.
Okay, so you can follow Sean Capri, Sean like Connor, Capri like the pants on Twitter.
I'll see you guys on Twitter in a second.
At Nintendo Gurus. That is all.
Yeah, you keep ranting.
Peace out, Preston.
Bye, Preston. I'm so sorry I missed out last week. I hope you're having an awesome freaking day. Love you, man.
The history of the royal family of Hyrule is also the history of the Calamity Ganon, a primal evil that has endured over the ages.
Of me, however. I think you are now ready to hear what happened 100 years ago.
Everything I've done up until now, it was all for nothing.
save her, my daughter.
Open your eyes.